What up, Fight World? We back with some more boxing, talking that good old gospel. Mayweather McGregor. I'm in Las Vegas. It's fight night. Goes down. I couldn't finish those nachos though. But we back. We working. Just waiting for more people to join. Yo, what up? Ezekiel. Shout out to Starbucks. They even got it right. Ego. See? They got the ego right. What up? Yeah, now we joining. Yeah, Tank missed weight. What is it? Larry, what's good? I'm picking Mayweather. I'm gonna wait for more people to join, and then we gonna break it down. And I'm gonna explain why I'm picking Mayweather. I'm picking Mayweather. Oscar is mad as fuck. He's like, fuck you guys. Like, man, let's talk about Oscar first. Let's get this out of the way. I'm gonna show y'all like we doing the channel. Y'all ready to see the hate? Man, we need some likes. Hit the like button so we can see the Oscar De La Hoya hate. Hit the like button. We gonna talk about the hate. I just need more likes, cause I know y'all like the drama. I know y'all like the gossip. Y'all like the hate. So hit the like button. We gonna do some reverse psychology. Oscar's hating on Mayweather McGregor, so we gotta spread love. That's how we doing it. Shout all the way to London. Shout out to you guys, UK. Man, I love passionate boxing fans. The Irish fans, they are really out here right now. Like, drunk as fuck. Not all of them, I'm not trying to stereotype, but a lot of them I've seen are drunk, and you can tell they're drunk because they're wearing Irish capes and shit and stumbling. But you can't deny true passion. Conor McGregor, in a short period of time, he's able to capture the hearts and captivate people. So I really respect that, because this is a grind. You know what I mean? Just like what I do. People don't understand it, but this was a hustle. I was working full time, doing this on the side. This all started off as a hobby. Now I'm at the biggest fight of the year, or one of them. You know what I mean? Covering it. And that's just how it goes. You got to respect hustles, and I respect the hustle. Conor McGregor is able to use his fighting skills, which he does have in the UFC, and he's been able to use his mouthpiece, pause, and captivate the audience and get people rooting for him and really believing in him. Man, there's a ton of people out here right now. That's why I don't want to hear no excuses after. If Conor wins, I'm like, whoa, he did what I didn't think he could do. Salute, you're a brand new superstar. You're already a star, but that's superstar status. You knock Floyd out, because I don't see him outboxing Floyd. If he did win, it would have to be by knockout or TKO, to me. You know what I mean? But a lot of people out here. Conor, the thing I like, I was talking to Troy King about this, the thing I like about Conor McGregor is he has the type of confidence, or at least the outward confidence that he's telling you about, and that we can hear and see in the swagger and the demeanor. He makes you believe what he's saying, whether he can produce or not. He makes you believe it. He's like, I bounce heads off canvases and like, you're like, oh shit, he really means this. And yelling at Floyd. A lot of people don't get in Floyd's grill like that, because they're kind of starstruck by the moment. Now, that doesn't mean anything in the boxing match, because at the end of the day, Conor's still at a deficit. He's at a deficit because of he's not in this normal arena. Who's watching Cotto? You guys let me know that. Can we get to 50 likes at least so we can talk about the Oscar De La Hoya hate? Y'all don't want to talk about the Oscar De La Hoya hate? Come on, y'all gotta hit the like button. The East Coast ain't got love for Boxingego? We know where the fuck we at. Well, let it be known then. Y'all don't love us? Okay, we at 50. I guess y'all do love us. I take that back. Let's talk about the hate, man. Bow. Okay. This is the verified Twitter account of Oscar De La Hoya. Former fighter, Olympian, gold medalist, now promoter, has one of the biggest stars in boxing, Canelo. I was born ready, right? Fuck Boxingego, fuck you too. And it says, Oscar De La Hoya put, "Fuck you, Mayweather and McGregor. Both of you are disrespecting the sport of boxing. Hashtag Canelo Triple G, September 16th. That's what he put. Fuck you, Mayweather and McGregor, basically. Both of you are disrespecting the sport. And then he tagged, you know what I mean, shameless plug right there, Canelo Triple G. That's crazy to me, man. And we're going to break it down now. This, to me, fuck you. Like, why is it that serious, though? Like, what? Like, I mean, we all know what it is, man. We know what time it is. If someone said livid, that's a good-ass word. Man, we don't, like me, man, correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't never, do you notice that since I came into this boxing game, people have taken shots at me? I don't take shots back because this shit's not real to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an internet dude, and I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Biggie said, what's beef? Like, how you have beef with somebody you don't even know? Like, people, I know people. Come to the Bay Area. There's rough parts. You know what I mean? Shout out to Keith the Sneak. He just got shot. I want to wish him a speedy recovery in Richmond. It's foul out there. The Bay is nice, but there's also parts that are foul. And you just got to watch how you move and who you entrust and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, like, the whole internet, like, it's cool maybe if you're a rapper, like, you know what I mean, 50 Cent going at Canelo or Meek Mill or something, because they're all in the same industry, and that helps them sell records. But, you know what I mean, the vlogger beat, that's what I'm saying, I don't do that. I don't, you notice, shout out to East Oakland, but notice I don't ever really even mention anybody, you know what I'm saying? I don't, like, because I got my own shit to work on. You know what I mean? I'm not really worried about what anybody else is doing. So, the fact that De La Hoya is going out of his way to fuck you the day before to make some quick headlines, that's, to me, that's childish, it's petty. And this is how you know when somebody's hating. I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all wanna know the steps? Y'all wanna know the steps to know if somebody's hating or if they're doing it for the right reasons? Man, hold on, let me see if I can move around. Y'all wanna know the steps? Hold on. It's saying the connection's bad. I'm trying to move around. See if it is in. I'm gonna tell y'all the warning signs, man. Fuck it. We gotta just do what we was doing. Hopefully this shit goes away. Is the stream working for you guys? Is the stream working good for you? Like, can you all hear me and shit? Damn, it says offline. Say if it's on, say online or offline. Is the stream offline? It keeps going offline? What the fuck? YouTube need, yeah, what? YouTube gotta fix this shit. It's online? Okay. I'm just gonna keep going, man, because some of y'all are saying it's offline. So, this is what we're gonna break down right now. Fuck you, Mayweather McGregor. Both of you disrespecting the sport of boxing. Canelo Triple G. Alright. Now, you gotta look at the red flags. See, and this is the thing that I dislike. I dislike when people use fake fronts. Like, I call it fake outrage. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they use a certain catalyst, they'll be like, oh, I hate this fight because it's ruining boxing. And it's not really the reason. To me, the reason that De La Hoya is this mad is, one, Floyd beat him, and he's went on to make astronomical record paydays and set all the records, and he beat his #1 fighter and is the only person to do that, Canelo Alvarez. We'll see if Golovkin can, what he has to say about it September 16th. That's one major reason that De La Hoya is upset, is because he got beat by Floyd, and his prized possession, Canelo, got beat by Floyd. How the fuck is the stream not working? Is it working for you guys? Because it keeps saying very bad connection. People keep chiming in. Man, this is a good... It's good. See, it's working for some of you guys and it's not. So I guess try to bear with it. Stay tuned. Hopefully it works itself out. Man, it keeps changing every couple seconds. You know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I think there's so many people on here, and it's like clouding up the server or something. The Vasil Lomachenko, the Matrix is glitching the Matrix. I think there's a lot of people because it's, you know what I mean, people here to talk about it. I don't know why it keeps pausing, but just try to bear with it. Maybe exit and then re-enter. Okay, so De La, 1, he's mad that he lost to Floyd. 2, Floyd beat his prized possession. Well, you can say that's 1 and 1A, right? And then aside from that, like Floyd Mayweather and team Mayweather Promotions, I'm not gonna say the UFC. I mean, we can include them in a small part, but I don't think Dana White as much as Mayweather Promotions. They strategically wanted this fight weeks before the Canelo Triple G because Floyd likes to flex his muscle. Pause. Floyd likes to let you know at every opportunity he can. He wants to let you know that, guess what? I'm still the man. I'm still running the show. You can say Napoleon complex. You can say he's power tripping, whatever. We know that about Floyd. Floyd, I've heard tons of fighters, they deal with Floyd and they got an agreement to fight him, like Canelo, Pacquiao. Notice Floyd has to be the one to announce it. It has to be Floyd who is the one calling the shots. And we know that. And he's worked for it, so fuck it. It is what it is. But Floyd, I think, strategically placed the fight. He placed it on that date. One, it fucks up Golden Boy's way smaller fight, which is Cotto Kamagai tonight, right? I don't even hear anybody talking about guy at all. Literally, I seen one picture from the weigh-in on my Instagram, and I follow a ton of boxing fans and boxing pages. You know what I mean? And I don't see no one talking about it. So clearly, this has had an impact on that fight. And they didn't move the date, which would have been smart for Cotto Kamagai, to me. But see, I'm telling you from what I know from this game. The boxing game there's a lot of like pettiness in the boxing game, and I'm not here to snitch and tell names and direct, but I know a lot. I know a lot more than I can reveal, and know a lot more than I do reveal. But I know of little backhand deals where like fights were almost made, but then some kind of pissing contest got in the way, and then the fight didn't get made. Or I know certain people that work for, like, let's say PBC, Showtime side of things, or whatever, and then even if they wanted to go to a Golden Boy fight, they wouldn't let them, you know what I mean, or Top Rank, you know what I mean. There's just like bad blood, and it's the business, and people are snarky in the business world, and that's just the best way to put it, and that's just what it is, you know what I mean. And I mean, it's everyone out for themselves. That's how a lot of people treat this shit. Every man for himself. So I think Floyd staged his fight cleverly, and I ain't talking about Nathan, but he cleverly staged his fight right before, on the same night as Cotto Kamagai, and then right before Canelo Triple G. Because they could have fought in October, November, December. None of it would have really mattered. You know what I mean? Because the Conor McGregor and Mayweather would sell whenever, based on the characters. So De La Hoya's mad at that, shitted on the Cotto Kamagai fight, and then took away a lot. Like, put it this way, let's say Mayweather and McGregor couldn't come to terms. Is there anyone that would believe that Cotto Triple G wouldn't be getting more press right now if there was no press tour, Mayweather McGregor weren't fighting tonight, stuff like that? Of course it would, because it'd be the only fight, the only major fight. Now there's some other good fights like Charlo and Lubin. That's a good fight, but it's not going to be a type of fight that's going to outshine Canelo Triple G. So it took another super fight to outshine Canelo Triple G, and De La Hoya knows that. That's why you see Exhibit A, we working. But for me, like I said, I don't like when somebody I don't like fake outrage, and I like real stuff, and that's what it is. And I don't think De La Hoya is being transparent here. I don't think he's being transparent. I don't think the real reason is, oh, because boxing's disrespected. You feel disrespected. He disrespected you by pretty much countering 2 of your events within a month's time, basically 30 days. And that's Canelo Triple G and Cotto Kamagai. I really don't think De La Hoya is doing it for the greater good. Like, this is just so bad for boxing, and the boxing fans are really the sufferers. He's trying to make it seem like that. I really believe that. And okay, put it this way. So, and I'm not, see, this is what gets twisted, because people are going to get mad, and see, this is the thing with me. I make money regardless of if I go to any fight or not. I'm going to make money in this game. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of connects with fighters, and I can work with them personal. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to get X'd out or bad blood, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop speaking from the heart because somebody else is mad. So if somebody hears this, or De La Hoya, if he really wants to hear it and get mad, sorry, I started getting a call, but can you guys hear the stream okay? Say thumbs up if you can hear the stream right now. Can you guys hear it? Yes, no, yes? Because I just got a call, and it was, sometimes it messes it up. Okay, we're all good. So let me say this quick. De La Hoya, like I said, he's using this platform like he's outraged for boxing fans. I don't think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm the type of person, I'm an Aries, I'm headstrong. I don't care who's mad, because I'm speaking from the heart, and prove me wrong. If you honestly think differently, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? And that's much harder to do, because I know what I'm saying is real, and I know it's there's some truth behind it. De La Hoya, I really feel, is mad because his event, 2 of his events have been compromised by this fight. I don't think it's doing for the greater good, because people get mad when I speak facts. People get mad, oh, you hate this person. It's not, if I hate somebody, I'm going to slander them. I'm going to say, you know what, this person is this and that, they're homeless, and they're blah, blah, name calling. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you actual facts. So if De La Hoya cared so much about preserving what's right for boxing fans, why make fights like Canelo Amir Khan? Who was really checking for that? Khan had been stopped twice, I think. Danny Garcia, Bradis Prescott, and Khan was moving up off of a decent layoff. He hadn't fought since Chris Algieri in a year. Why make that fight? You know what I'm saying? You didn't care about the boxing fans. The boxing fans, real boxing fans, if you could watch Canelo versus either Charlo in Texas or Liam Smith and Canelo in Texas, what would you prefer, honestly? Or Demetrius Andrade? Would you rather have Amir Khan, who had never fought higher than 150 and had been stopped before, or an undefeated Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and Canelo? Or instead of Liam Smith, either Charlo brother? Of course we would pick the Charlo brothers or Demetrius Andrade as real boxing fans. So that right there tells me you're willing to move your fighter along and do what's right, or what you feel is right for your business. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you're trying to act like this this saint with boxing. Here's another example. His biggest fighter to date, even right now, especially with a lot of his fighters leaving and working with exclusively in Al Haymon events and PBC and whatnot. With that in mind, De La Hoya's biggest fighter is Canelo. We know that. Everybody knows that. That's why it's a dangerous fight for him to fight a strong guy like Golovkin, who's also a very good fighter. And the thing is, hold on, let me get a drink. Get the likes up while I sip on the Starbucks, man. The Irish have definitely arrived. But let's hit the likes up, and then I'll finish my thoughts. Okay. So, there's no doubt the Golden Boy's biggest star, bigger than David Lemieux, bigger than Mauricio Herrera, Jesus Sotocaras, and Diaz, all the guys, you know what I'm saying? My dude Ryan Garcia is over there. But Canelo's bigger star than any of those guys. Clear. It's very clear. He's done more, better resume, bigger star, name known more. And his biggest star fighter, he didn't even make his, to this date, that guy's biggest fight, which was Mayweather versus Canelo. He wasn't there. He was in rehab. He checked himself into rehab, I think, a couple days or maybe the week of the Mayweather versus Canelo fight. That wasn't a good look for him. It wasn't a good look for his fighter. His fighter lost, embarrassingly. You know what I mean? And it's just not a good look for business, in my opinion. Because, like, you know what I mean? I have alcoholism that runs in not my immediate family, but, you know what I mean, my relatives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not making light of substance abuse. That's a real issue. If you got personal demons, be it depression, you feel suicidal, or drug issues, or whatever, you got raped when you were a kid, whatever the situation is, those are real life issues. I respect that, and you know what I mean, I can respect someone checking in to a rehab to try to get cleaned up. You know what I mean? There's no joke in there. You know what I mean? You got to get yourself right, but you got to look at also the timing. You know what I mean? Timing was all bad. Your fighter's going into his biggest fight, and then you can't even be there for him. So, you know what I mean? You got to look at it like that. But now all of a sudden, Oscar's kind of making it like he's this saint. And he's making it like he's this saint in terms of like trying to preserve the integrity of boxing, and this is ruining it. I don't buy it. I think Oscar feels slighted. Oscar feels slighted. They did this event in between his fights, Cotto, Kamagai, and Canelo Triple G, shit like that, and he's upset about it. You know what I mean? And I think he's always had a grudge with Floyd, because Floyd's talked a lot of shit when he was fighting Floyd. He was like, Oscar, he a bitch. I'm about to run some miles right now because he a bitch. He ain't gonna do shit. He's like, oh, I'm so scared. He was doing all that extra shit. And then after that, he made several jabs. You know what I mean? They jabbed each other. Oscar wrote a Dear Floyd letter. Floyd at the Canelo press conference, when De La Hoya might have been in rehab for this press conference, and Floyd was like, he said something to the effect of like, Richard Schaefer, he's the real Golden Boy. He's the reason I mess with Golden Boy. He said something like that. He's like, so it's Oscar's company, and you giving credit to Richard Schaefer, saying he's the one that's really handling the business, and that's why I can have a relationship with Golden Boy. So there's been bad blood there in general. But then when you start adding in the money, there's a lot of investment in Canelo Triple G. A lot of investment, you know what I'm saying? And there's money to be lost if the event, you pay these fighters big ass salaries and the event doesn't do as good as you anticipated to do. You know what I mean? Canelo versus Cotto did under $1 million. You know what I mean? So Golovkin hasn't done strong pay-per-view numbers on his own. You know what I mean? Golovkin, name one Golovkin pay-per-view, and he's only had 2, but name one that did over 200,000 in terms of pay-per-view buys. I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo's the only one with even close to $1 million or over $1 million, like when he fought Floyd and got 2.2 million or whatever it was. So to me, that's the real reason De La Hoya is mad. He's upset because you fucking with the money. Shout out to Christopher Lee, do the Shmoney Dance, $5 super chat. Said, didn't Oscar try to make the fight with Conor and put Ronda on Ring Magazine? Bow. Christopher Lee. What they say in the NBA Jam? A nail in the coffin. Great example. Ronda Rousey. Why the fuck was she on? What did she do where she should be on Boxing's Holy Grail or Holy Bible, whatever they call it, the Ring Magazine? And the title even says something like, Ronda, she's conquered MMA. Could she conquer boxing? Question mark. You know what I'm saying? You did all that for views. You put her on their cover like she was some boxer. She fought an ex-boxer, and guess what? She got toe out the frame. She got fucked up by an ex-boxer, which was perhaps more insult to injury. Like, let's say she lost to Betch Correa or whoever. You know what I mean? Misha Tate. That's one thing. You lost to an ex-boxer. Why the fuck you put her on the cover talking about she's conquered MMA or UFC? Now can she conquer boxing? She ain't conquered shit. She conquered the media or something, you know what I mean, with that do nothing bitch, and she was a girl who was winning fights, people like that, but she didn't conquer no UFC. Shit, Conor McGregor's had a better UFC run to me than Ronda Rousey did. So now all of a sudden you care so much about boxing's integrity and stuff, but you didn't care about it when it was financially beneficial to you to use Ronda Rousey's star power, who has shit to do with boxing, who can't box. What, dude? Is there anyone that thinks Ronda Rousey can box? Like, is a good boxer? Her own coach was like, head movement, head movement. Like, if you're name a fight where you just heard the coach yelling head movement. That's how you know you getting fucked up. I ain't never heard, Golovkin don't even fucking move his head, but I never heard Abel Sanchez talking about head movement, and that's his only instruction. Get the fuck out of here. Head movement. Abel ain't never did that. You know what I'm saying? Because Golovkin, even though he doesn't move his head, he's strong, he does other things well. You know what I mean? He can box. He boxed with Jacobs, a strong guy. So why'd you put Ronda Rousey on the cover? Head movement. Shitty ass boxing instructions. Like, oh, really? Head movement? That's it? That's all you got to tell me? Shout out to KC Shells. We do the shmoney dance. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Floyd stops McGregor, but hypothetically, what effect do you think a loss would have on Floyd mentally? I think it would be a Rousey level breakdown. I don't think it'll be a Rousey level breakdown, because I think he would just go into retirement like Bernard Hopkins. If he got stopped by Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey didn't. You gotta keep in mind, Ronda Rousey, she head movement, right? Ronda Rousey, she got derailed. Floyd keeps telling us this is his last fight, so I think that's totally different. You know what I mean? Ronda Rousey didn't have any plans of retiring or stopping fighting. She was on top of the world, getting movie deals, Fast and the Furious, Entourage, shit like that. So she wasn't, to my knowledge, she wasn't planning on retiring anytime soon. She was still trying to, like Ring Magazine said, conquer the UFC. Floyd tells you this is his last fight, so I think it would be more of a Bernard Hopkins thing, where like Joe Smith Jr. knocked him out of the ring and he just did what he said he was going to do. This was his final fight and he just bounced. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it'll have, I mean, obviously it's not a loss he wants. So why would you want to lose to a guy whose primary sport isn't that? But I think Floyd would just end up retiring, to be honest. So that's just my thought. Head movement. The fuck is that? Head movement. Get out of here. Like, he didn't even say like slip to the left and counter with a hook. That's all. Head movement, and then he started crying. No. Great instructions, Edmund. Head movement. Irish fans have been lit. I've been having fun out here. I'm not bugging. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm real. But back to Oscar. This whole shit. This is overkill. See, I look at it like this. If you're really firm and confident in what you're doing, none of that other stuff matters. Like, it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Like, me and my channel, there's channels with more subscribers than me. Maybe they have different connections than me. I don't care about none of that. You know why? Because at the end of the day, that's their journey. They came in the game whenever they came in the game. They did whatever they did. That doesn't have no bearing on me. It doesn't change my bank account one bit, not one bit. So it doesn't make sense. And then there's people who diss me, who are under where my channel is and shit. Like, none of that stuff matters to me. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're a real alpha male, what Oscar's doing is not an alpha male behavior to me. That's not alpha. That's not what alpha males do. You know what I'm saying? Like James Bond, he's one of Hollywood's biggest alpha males. You know what I mean? If you watch, he'll get in a fist fight and fight for 3-4 people, kill them, and then go into the banquet and like fix his tie or bow tie or whatever, and then he's he's just acting like nothing happened. That's what an alpha male does. You know what I mean? But obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to kill assassins and henchmen and shit and then go into a banquet. But what I'm talking about is just alpha male behavior. And to me, what De La Hoya is doing is not alpha male. It's showing fear of your event. It's showing insecurities. And Dana White even said the same thing. And I really feel that. It does show those things. Because if you're happy, if you know you have the better fight and you're happy with the promotion, then you shouldn't really care. Like, you don't have to coax or persuade people. If Mayweather McGregor is the shit fest and fuck fight and all this other stuff you guys are saying, then you don't have to hate on it. It's just gonna, it's like that fight's handing itself the rope. But he knows in his heart of all hearts, to me, that Conor has star power, which is why he wanted to fight him, or he said he wants his fighter Canelo to fight him, right? Right? And that's what it is. That's just really what I feel. Man, I'm done with the whole face. Some of y'all, I see comments as I'm talking, and they're like, "Oh, Floyd looked flustered. Floyd looks scared of Conor." It's fight night. It ain't shit to talk about. If that's how you feel it is, we'll see who's scared and all that. Because people said the same thing when he did the face-off with Canelo. I had a channel back then. They said, "Floyd, look how fast he's chewing his fucking gum, man. He's chewing his fucking gum. He's scared of Canelo." And then he got in there with Canelo and fucked him up and dogged him. Dog-walked Canelo. So I don't do too much with the face-offs. Like, there's only so much. Because let's say, even if you're really scared, let's say he is scared, like, "Oh shit, this white boy's in my face and veins popping out and he's bigger than," let's say at the end of the day he's a fighter, so he's gonna revert back to his his natural habitat and his natural instinct, even if he was scared. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like Floyd, he might have been. What if he was scared of De La Hoya or Cotto? Yeah, I mean, when he was probably scared when Shane Mosley cracked him with that right, but he's a fighter, so he reverts back to what he knows. You know what I'm saying? If Floyd has showed time and time again, 20, 21 years, what he does. You know what I mean? So even if he was scared, which I don't think he was, but I mean, it doesn't matter when the fight's on. That's where Floyd says, "I've had bad days in sparring, but that shit don't matter. What does matter is under the bright lights, what happens in the bright lights." You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of true. So, I mean, face off. If I just retweeted Floyd, hold on, let me find it again. Floyd says something, it's very true about the fight game. Yeah, he said something like, here, I'm gonna find it. I retweeted it. What does that say? Y'all read it. What does that say from Floyd? What does that say? Floyd Mayweather, talking doesn't win fights. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, see, y'all don't want me to do this to you, but that's straight up. What Floyd is saying is accurate. Talking doesn't win fights. Conor McGregor had a lot to say about Nate Diaz, who was a late addition. He was supposed to fight RDA, Dos Anjos, right? He was supposed to fight RDA. RDA had an ankle injury or whatever, and he talked a gang of good shit about Nate Diaz. He was like, "Oh, he's a little cholo gangster from Stockton, and he has guns in one hand and animal balloons in the other, running try." He said a lot. And guess what? Nate Diaz, he was getting maybe rocked a little bit in the first round, being tough as nails from that Stockton with the animal balloons and guns and all that, right? And then he actually hurt Conor in the second round, got him on the mat, or actually Conor tried to take it to the mat, and then he got choked the fuck out. So, like Floyd's saying, talking doesn't win fights. What is the talking ain't doing nothing? Like Floyd always says too, is like, they can't fight for you, your coach can't fight for you, the fans can't fight for you. So I mean, he's right. So y'all, I really think y'all do too much with the face-offs. The face-offs, I love. That's part of my favorite fight, or that's part of my favorite. I can't even talk. Part of my favorite. What the fuck am I trying to say? All right. My favorite part of fight week is like the weigh-in and the face-off. I just like it. I just like the energy, see where the guys look like and stuff like that. But there's only so much you could take from that. The people said the same thing. Shout out to Fremont. That's my backyard. People said the same thing with Ward Kovalev in the rematch. They said Ward looked scared. I was at the fight. I put up the face-off, and people in the comment section were telling me Ward looked terrified, and Kovalev was gonna crush him and shit. You know what I mean? And then who got crushed? Who lost? Who won? So there's only so much you can really take from that type of stuff, and I really feel that way. You know what I mean? I think Conor. You know what I mean? Floyd didn't even, like, he said he looked scared. He was just like staring at him, watching. You know what I mean? He didn't really do anything. He wasn't flinching and covering up, and he was just staring at him as Conor used energy that he probably needs to save because he looked kind of dry to me. Conor McGregor came in at 153. Some of y'all like might look at that as a good thing, but I don't know that that's a good thing because he didn't. Like, in the build-up, he looked mad bigger than Floyd, and like the press tour shit. And now he's 153. I don't know. I think he'll rehydrate pretty good, but I don't know. His weight cut is very severe. But like I said, everything is gonna come to a halt. We'll be able to see that. You know what I mean? What happens tonight? Everybody is a psychologist now, Ego. Exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has a degree and tell you, oh, that's how he felt, and like, I don't know, man. I just don't do all that. Like like I said, my favorite part of my favorite part of the fight build up is the face off, because I just like to see, you know what I mean, what the people are, how they're responding and what they look like and stuff. But there's only so much you can draw from that. And that's just it. And even for Conor, you got to look at it like this. Conor could possibly be in over his head because he's never actually boxed for a pro fight with an elite level person, and he's automatically going to the top of the totem pole to fight TBE or whatever you want to call him, wherever you place him, and he's going straight to that. So he might be in over his head thinking he can do all this stuff, you know what I mean? Even like I look at things different than people. Even the Paulie Malignaggi, I mean, he was hitting Paulie with a lot of straight lefts. They leaked more footage and shit like that. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? He was hitting Paulie with straight lefts and shit. But that's Paulie, you know what I'm saying? So that, even stuff like that probably gasses you up. But Floyd is a far cry from Paulie. Paulie lost to Sean Porter, right? And got stopped. Do you guys think Floyd would get stopped by Sean Porter? I personally don't. You know what I mean? Paulie lost his last fight to, I don't even know who the dude's name. I forgot. You know what I mean? Was it Sam Egington or whoever? Would Floyd lose to him? So it's easy to get gassed up and say what you think you're gonna do, but the fact of the matter is, Conor has not competed as a boxer like that. You know what I mean? Sam Egington, yep. Floyd would not lose to no fucking Sam Egington. In fact, y'all don't believe he would, and I'm gonna tell you how I know y'all don't believe he would lose to, because most people with common sense say Floyd is better than Danny Garcia. Floyd would beat Danny Garcia, stuff like that. Not taking anything away from Danny Garcia, but Danny Garcia was rumored to fight Sam Egington, and he didn't. And guess what? People said, oh, Danny's a cherry picker. He was gonna fight Sam Egington. You know what I mean? So you guys consider that a cherry pick when it came out. I think Eddie Hearn or somebody said that Danny Garcia was in negotiations with him or whatever. So the fact of the matter is, Floyd wouldn't lose to somebody like that. Y'all called him a cherry pick when Danny Garcia was in some negotiations with him. And that's just what it is. So, I mean, like I said, for me, it's not much to talk about. The time for talk is really over. It's fight night. And That's just it. We're going to find out very shortly what it is and what it ain't. And a lot of people have this crazy misconception. Me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, so I'm going to just speak for me. I don't know what everyone else feels or how they act and react, but I know me. And it's not that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been wrong with predictions before. I truly think Floyd will win. I could see a late stoppage, 8 through 10 in there. Maybe a decision if Conor maybe does better or looks more imposing than maybe he thought. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And then I'm going to get on here and congratulate Conor McGregor. And then I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to fly back to the Bay Area, sleep in my bed. Like, that's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all act stupid with this fight game. That's why really at this point where I'm at in life, I like to deal with people who have something to lose. Because a lot of the people on the internet, I could tell you don't have shit. You don't have nothing to lose by your comments. Oh, if Conor knocks out Floyd, you're going to delete your YouTube channel. I built this channel for years from the ground up, kept it in good standings, met a lot of people, networked, engaged with the fans. Why the fuck would I delete my account for any one fight because I was wrong? You see how stupid? That's how some of y'all do too much. Like I said, I don't care what fight it is. If I ever get a fight wrong, then it is what it is. And until you guys can name a fight prediction or predictor that got 100% of their predictions right and they're actually predicting frequently, then it don't matter. And I know there's no one out there that's doing that unless they Jesus or something. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't see Conor winning. I don't give a fuck who's mad. I don't care if you're from Ireland. I don't care if you have a green, white, and orange tattoo on your forehead. That's my personal opinion. I like Conor. I think he can go back to the UFC and make noise again. I don't see him winning. If he, in fact, does win, then he gets credit. Point blank, period. You stepped out of your comfort zone. You were on your Bruce Lee shit, and you win. It doesn't change my life. I get paid regardless of who wins. Leonard Ellaby can hop in the ring and punch Conor and knock him out. Guess what? I still get paid. So, I mean, really, I don't. It is what it is. Love your channel. Thank you. Thank you for the support. So, I really see Floyd winning tonight. You know what I mean? Like, y'all do too much. Like I said, if it's a tag team match and Leonard Ellaby jumps in and elbows Conor, then I'm still getting paid. What happened? Dude, shut up. Where's the link? Here's the link. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Blocked. That's your link. Get the fuck out of here. You get blocked. Talking about shut up. You come to another man's stream telling them to shut up. Why'd you click on it? And how am I gonna give you the link to the fights haven't even started? The prelims haven't even started. You want a link? Y'all sound stupid. Hey man, where's the link? You want the link for Canelo Triple G2 on September 16th? Dummy. Where's the link, man? Shut up. Dance for me, boy. The fights aren't even on. See, man, I don't have time for the troll shit. I gave him the link, the block link. Now get out this stream and lead us to the real boxing and maybe some MMA fans on this stream. He must be a Floyd fan. I don't know who he is. He's a blocked fan. That's what he's a fan of. He's a fan of getting blocked. I'm Sergi Baca. That's what he's a fan of, getting blocked. He tried to go to the hole, tried to dunk it, and I blocked him. He wanted the link, he got the link. And anybody else, they want the link, they could get the link too. We blocking out here, man. Sergi Baca. I don't have time for that. So who won? Do I look like Marty McFly? What do you mean who won? The fight hasn't happened. Y'all with these silly ass questions. Who won? Am I Van Damme and Time Cop? Bah! Like, I don't know who won. This fight hasn't happened. I'm just giving my thoughts. Ego, you a savage? Oh, you want to get blocked too. Mexicans support Mayweather. pretend you know. You can't even spell the word no, which means he spelled no. It was supposed to be K-N-O-W. He spelled it N-O. So you don't know how to spell. How about that? Go to night school, cancel the fight. Don't even watch Mayweather McGregor. Read about, oh, you can't read, but hear about it tomorrow, and you should be enrolling in night school. Again, if you can't spell, don't try to roast me. You can't even spell. You don't know the difference between N-O and K-N-O-W. You have real life issues. See, that's the thing. Y'all can't fuck with me because I'm educated. I have an education. Great shit, Ego. Yeah, man, we just working. We're doing a little this easy work, talking the fight game. Blocking people. Like somebody else said in the comment section, Jenny from the block. Get your ass blocked. You can't spell. And that's what kills me. That the internet game is so ruthless because it's so like hypocritical. Conor McGregor's like, Floyd Mayweather, you can't read. When you got a school bag, you got a backpack, but you can't even spell. And y'all be like, you see that? He said Floyd can't read, but you can't spell either. But all y'all is fucked up with the spelling and grammar, to be honest. So why are you like jovial and happy that Conor roasted Floyd, and he would roast you too? Because you can't spell. You don't know the difference between no and no. And probably now. You probably confuse now, no, and no. Floyd is reading them checks. That's for damn sure. Yes, Tank missed weight. I think it was by 2 pounds, which is crazy. Danny and Keith Thurman. Yeah, I could see a rematch happening for that. Ego, I'm half black. That's what's up. Like, what does that have to do with anything? You think because I'm biracial that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you have black? Like, why would, that was really random. Y'all are random as fuck on this stream. Hey Ego, I'm half black, man. Okay, Conor said he was half black from the waist down. What's that got to do with this stream? Next, anyway. Oh, so check out that interview with Sean Porter. I just asked him the question. I said, is Vasyl Lomachenko, some people like ESPN, Teddy Atlas said he's #1, and he just starts shaking his head as I'm saying it. Watch it. And I'm like, oh, you shaking your head? I was like, you don't agree with that? He's like, nah, Andre Ward, he's #1. So, Sean Porter from Cleveland, when I say Andre Ward is pound for pound, oh, it's because you know him. Oh, it's because you're from the Bay, man. You're just siding with him. But Sean Porter's not from the Bay, and he's saying the same thing. I talked to Caleb Plant, who is Caucasian, great fighter, has a fight September 8th. Follow that and watch that. It's going to be on Showtime, and support him. He's very hungry. He said the same thing. He said Lomachenko has skills, but he's not #1. Basically, it's premature. So it's just so funny, man. I told y'all 2017, I told y'all in January, this was not going to be a good year for a lot of y'all. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Because at the end of the day, a lot of what y'all say, you can't get nobody to corroborate what you're saying. You know what I mean? All that crazy shit. Floyd is the biggest bitch in boxing history, or Lomachenko's #1 pound for pound, and people are just hating, and black people hate Lomachenko. All this dumb shit. Caleb Plant's not black, and he said Lomachenko's not #1. And he used the same reasoning. The videos are up. Sean Porter, he's a pro fighter as well. You know what I mean? Off of a good win in an eliminator. And some people would probably pick him to beat Danny Garcia too. You know what I mean? Some people thought he beat Keith Thurman. So very talented fighter, very hungry fighter, aggressive. He said the same thing. He said Andre Ward. So that was a good interview. I'm glad you guys liked it. More to come. You guys notice, and see, this is the thing. You notice at the end of the interview, Kenny Porter said, he says, yeah, and when that Danny Garcia fight happens, I want you to come out to Vegas and get some exclusives. See how that works? When you make noise in the game and you're respectful, and you know what I mean, you just hustle. So it's not looking good for a lot of you guys. Someone said, bro, you sensitive. Subscribe, like, hate. Guess what? I'm so sensitive. Blocked! Sergi Blocka. I actually have fun blocking you guys. It's fun. Like, it's like a game to me. I'm like, oh, cool comment. You said something stupid. Blocked! And it's fun to me. Because now, all of the adults, we're still in the stream. We're still talking boxing. And your ass is in timeout or blocked. So it's actually fun to me. I like seeing your little chat text box disappear. While we working, exactly. You get blocked while we working. And we get to keep talking. And your ass is in punishment, grounded in the room. I love it. But yeah, I told y'all, I don't have Lomachenko #1. I just don't. And nobody can really even explain it. Other than, like, the only way you can have Lomachenko #1 is if you're super biased and you just want him to be #1. #2 is if you're encompassing things that don't have anything to do with the standard pound for pound metrics for most people. Like, obviously pound for pound is subjective, but certain metrics should, like resume, obviously your time, your tenure should obviously be in there, because that, I mean, why Joshua in his first 13 fights knocked everybody out. Actually, he's knocked everybody out in all of his fights, but let's say his first 13 fights, nobody said he was pound for pound #1, and he was knocking everyone out. You know why? Because he hadn't fought nobody. He had fought guys that was moving him along at the right pace. I have no beef with that, but I'm not going to put AJ as pound for pound #1 at that time, because he knocked out 13 people he was supposed to knock out. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So that's the only other way, is if you have this far out criteria of pound for pound, like you're encompassing Lomachenko's amateur pedigree, or you're looking to the future, which you can't really do in boxing, but you suspect he has the skills to beat anybody. Do the Shmoney dance. BOE, he just donated $5 super chat, appreciate it. SOG is without a shadow of a doubt the pound for pound king, based off his heart, his resume, and his intellect inside the square circle. Big ups. That's what I'm saying, man. And it is what it is. And it's just so funny. Like, I'm just going to say it outright. It really feels like some of the media, like, because Floyd Mayweather it was like indisputable that he was pound for pound when he was pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't really take it away. He'd been in the game longer than most people. He had beaten Pacquiao's and Marquez. You really couldn't deny him. So it's like kind of like Donald Trump effect. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, you had Barack Obama, and some people didn't like Barack Obama, so they just didn't want to see another, like, Democrat in the office, like Hillary Clinton, or another black person in the office or something like that. That's what it kind of feels like with this pound for pound. Floyd was in the position so long, it's like they're so eager to have a non-African American fighter in that #1 spot. Notice they put Chocolatito there. Really? Chocolatito, he's good. He's a fun fighter, but what did he do that was like pound for pound #1 pound for pound? And again, you can't do it off of prophecy, because who thought Rungvisai, who lost to Carlos Cuadras, was going to beat Chocolatito, whether you agree with it or not? That's what the judges seen, and it was definitely a competitive fight. Chocolatito didn't knock Rungvisai down. Rungvisai knocked him down. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting ready for this Superfly, which is a great, it's kind of like a tournament style. You know what I mean? It's just like they don't want to put an African-American fighter back. Now it's Lomachenko. Okay, so Chocolatito gets knocked off and takes a setback. He's no longer perfect. Now all of a sudden, instead of another deserving African-American fighter moving into that spot, even though Chocolatito was never #1 to me, right? Instead of another top African-American who's been proving and who really should be in that spot, they say it's Lomachenko now. How is that? That's not right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to always speak out on stuff like that. And I don't care who's mad. And I know a lot of people who are idiots. They say, oh, it's not about white or black. It's not with me. I don't care what you are. If you could scrap, like my dude Caleb Plant, he could scrap. He's hungry. He's ready. I don't care what nationality you are. But what I do care about is oppression. So if you have someone who's talented, like an Andre Ward, who's time and time again proving himself. Crawford, time and time proving himself, and then people keep getting ranked over that person. That's suspect to me. You know what I mean? Just like when Jim Lampley came up with the Gotti list. Do you know why the Gotti list? You know why the Gotti list exists on the Fight Game? Which is a stupid idea. It's like a way, like, you ever have, I don't have any kids, but I know people with kids. And I know people with kids that are very talented athletes for like little young kids. They're, you know what I mean, they're like the top of their class. And I know kids who they're just on the team. You know what I mean? They're not really that good. They're not that special. When athletes are special, you can tell from an early age. Floyd Mayweather, and you know what I mean, I'm sure Tiger Woods was golfing when he was fucking 6 or something, right? That's how a special athlete. LeBron was nasty in high school. High school LeBron will beat some adults, you know what I mean, who are older than him. He was nasty, right? And the kids that aren't that good, sometimes just because you don't want to break a kid's spirit, the runner-ups will get a trophy too. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're not fully developed, mature adults at that time. You know what I'm saying? So second, third place might get a trophy, things like that. And that's why the Gotti list came out to me. The Gotti list is a way to celebrate the loser. No, that's just straight up. And I'm not roasting fighters saying they're losers. They still lace them up and stuff like that. But I'm saying guys who, okay, put it this way. Everybody that I've seen on the fucking Gotti list is people with mad losses and who pretty much will never be pound for pound top 5. Point blank period. No way to sugarcoat it. Name somebody on the Gotti list who's made it to the Gotti list who you would say is top 5. Andre Ward ain't never been on no fucking Gotti list. Terrence Crawford, Rigondeaux, Lomachenko. You don't put no Lomachenko on the, you know what I mean? Most of the people on the Gotti list are like people who fight with heart and spirit and tenacity and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? They'll put like Mike Alvarado, Brandon Rios on the Gotti list because they're exciting. But again, that's a way to kind of discredit skilled fighters in celebration of people who would lose. You know what I mean? Like, you're celebrating and uplifting the people who would lose to those skilled fighters. Brandon Rios versus Terrence Crawford, or Mike Alvarado versus Terrence Crawford. Who would you favor? But they don't really put Crawford on the Gotti list, but they'll put Rios or Alvarado on the Gotti list. You know what I'm saying? So that's a way. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing with this pound for pound list, man. Andre Ward, based on his tenure, his seniority, Super 6. People act like these wins have an expiration date, and this is how we know when people are full of shit. Because Andre Ward, somebody fact check this because I'm in the zone right now. Andre Ward fought the Super 6 in the 2000s. Somebody check the actual the actual year he fought. If you could post when the Super 6 tournament happened, what year was it? Just Google it. Use your alternate devices or multitask in your phone, whatever you can do. The Super 6 was not in 1999. I know that for a fact. When was the Super 6? What year was it? Y'all are just guessing. Can somebody actually look it up and come up with it instead of y'all telling me it was 1999 to 2012? That doesn't help me. I'm trying to. Okay, actually, here it is. Thank you. Super 6. The Andre Ward, you see, Kessler, Durrell, all them. 2009, it started to 2011. So actually, I apologize because I thought you guys were just guessing a range, but you guys really looked it up. So 2009 to 2011. I didn't realize it lasted that long. But that's when it was, right? So we're gonna get to the bottom of it. It was 2009, so I just showed you. 2009, this is how I know people are fake. They act like Andre Ward's win over in the Super 6, him winning that tournament, has an expiration date, right? And we just went over it. It was in the years of 2009 to 2011, and it's now 2017. And they act like his win is null and void because he had inactivity and shit like that, right? Follow me. I'm pulling it up on the. That's why it's taking a second. Okay, 2009 to 2011. Now, this is Floyd Mayweather when he beat Castillo in his 28th fight, and it was disputed by some. April 20th, 2002. And later that year, you see at the top, he rematched and beat him again. So in April, the first fight, April 2002, December 7th, 2002 was the rematch, which he beat him more convincingly. On to my point. My point is this. This is how you know who's full of shit. How are you going to act like Andre Ward's win has an expiration date in 2009, 2011? That Super 6 turn, oh, that was so long ago. Yet Mayweather fought Castillo even longer ago. You know what I mean? 2002 to 2009, right? So he fought him like 7 years before the Super 6 even existed. Yet what fight do they bring up for Mayweather to say why he shouldn't be defeated? Castillo. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole point. That's how you know who's full of shit, because the people, when it suits their point, they'll go through all the way back through history. You know what I'm saying? All the way back to 2002. You know what I mean? Right at the year after 9/11. Think about how long ago that was. 9/11 happened in 2001, if I'm not mistaken, right? And they'll go all the way back to discredit Floyd Mayweather in the Castillo 2002 fight, which was tough. I give him that. It was a tough fight. But Ward, even though 7 years later he fought in the Super 6, and then he won it in 2011, which was not even that long ago, and they say that win is too far in the past. It doesn't work like that. Ward is #1 pound for pound. It would be Floyd, but he's fighting Conor McGregor and he's retiring, so I mean, there's no point to put him back on the pound for pound list. So it's Andre Ward. He's done more. He's beaten guys, and this is the thing: Ward's beaten guys he wasn't supposed to beat. Carl Froch was supposed to beat him. Kessler was probably supposed to beat him. Abram, all these guys are supposed to beat him. Darnell Boone knocked him down. He got back up, did his thing. Kovalev was supposed to knock him out. He knocks Kovalev out in the rematch. Has a tough fight, settles the score in the rematch. You can't deny greatness. You could try to, yeah, I'm in Vegas. You could try to sweep it under the rug. You can try to, like, leapfrog people, but it doesn't work. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I'm telling you, man, the great thing about this platform of YouTube, and I'm not roasting anybody, I just interviewed Teddy Atlas. He's a great guy. He's a great boxing brain. I really respect a lot of what he has to say, but I disagree wholeheartedly with his pound for pound assessment recently on the Crawford Undisputed. Why would you wait till Crawford becomes undisputed, which is something nobody's really done since Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor, to tell him in front of his face in Ward, which, I mean, I guess you can give him credit because he said it to them, but you wait for him to set a historic monumental point of your career by being undisputed and doing it via third-round knockout, right? Just to tell him, like, you know what, even though you just did that, Lomacheko's still ahead of you with way less fights. That's disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? And like I said, I told y'all in January, tell the truth, tell the truth. I don't got no battery in my back. I don't have anybody telling me what I can and cannot say. And it's gonna stay that way, you know what I'm saying? Unless there's some major reason where I had to, you know what I mean, join sides with somebody and it was like, you know what I mean, the best move for me and my family. But that's the great thing with YouTube as a platform. I can say what I want. And that's just that. Other people, they have entities and ties and connections, so as a result, they only talk favorable about certain people or overly boost somebody. You know what I mean? That's not right. Especially when these guys risk their life, all of them. Lomachenko, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? Crawford, Ward, all these guys. They risk their life day in and day out, or at least every time that they fight and they're doing it for the respect. I mean, obviously they're doing it for a paycheck, but that paycheck, look how many broke boxers there are. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, all of them dudes made mega millions. More money than most people will see in a lifetime. And look at where they're now. I seen the thing, and it showed all these boxers, and it showed how much they made career-wise and how much they're worth now. It said Tyson was worth $3 million, but made like $600 million in his career. Holyfield made, like, let's say 200, 300 million. He's worth like 300,000 or something. You know, it's just crazy stuff. So we gotta celebrate. We gotta treat these fighters right. Whether you like somebody's style or not, I don't care about that. But I tell you time and time again how I feel. I speak from the heart. I'm real. I don't backtrack, stuff like that. And that's just what it is. If I backtrack, it's because you made me backtrack. A fighter proves, like Conor McGregor, I don't think he's gonna win tonight. Somehow, some way, I don't think he'll win. Right? But if he proves me wrong, then I'll backtrack. Then I'll be like, whoa, okay. Conor did what I didn't think he could do. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, for me, like Crawford knocking out a much taller, very rangy guy who was going for broke, and Julius Ndongo knocking him out in the 3rd round, to me is more impressive than Lomachenko beating Mariaga his last fight. And Mariaga was coming off a loss, moving up in weight. He had just lost to Oscar Valdez, got knocked down in that fight. He lost to Nicholas Walters and got knocked down in that fight. He was moving from 126 to 130, where Lomachenko was physically bigger. You know what I mean? That's more impressive. That's more impressive what Crawford did, because he got his man out of there earlier, and to me, his man was more of a threat. Julius Ndongo had been going in motherfuckers' backyards and beating them in their backyards. Julius Ndongo, I told you, Crawford is like the... You ever seen Pulp Fiction, The Wolf? Who's seen Pulp Fiction? One of my favorite movies. Who's seen that movie? Great movie. Shout out to Quentin Tarantino. Have you guys seen that movie? Because, I mean, if you haven't, then there's no point to even give this analogy. But who has seen Pulp Fiction? Hey, you guys mute? Can you hear me? Okay, so people have seen Pulp Fiction. Harvey Keitel, actor, shout out to him. He played a character. No, it sounds like an avalanche or something. Harvey Keitel played a character called the Wolf. So this is a spoiler. If you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, then plug your ears, earmuff or something. Harvey Keitel played a character called the Wolf. And John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson were supposed to be transporting a passenger, and Samuel Jackson had the gun to him. And they went over a speed bump, and he accidentally blew the dude's brains out. And there was like brain fragments everywhere, and it was just a bad look because they're driving through town with a car with a dead body in it, right? So in essence, to me, Terrence Crawford is the Wolf, right? Because Harvey Keitel, the Wolf, was at his house. He wanted some coffee. He was just chilling. He didn't want to have to clean up somebody else's mess. He didn't cause that, but that's the go-to guy that the mafia had or whatever. That's the go-to guy that they had to clean up the other mess. That's what Terrence Crawford does to me. He's the Wolf. He cleans up people's mess in terms of who's really wants to fight Felix Diaz. He made Peterson not look great, right? Some people thought he lost. He beat Samuel Vasquez and gave him his first blemish, and he looked horrible, right? Who wants to fight Julius Ndongo? A guy who's like 6 feet tall, has some boxing ability, rangy, knocked out Troyanovsky in 1 round. You know what I mean? Those aren't really favorable fight. Like, they're like, those are like the Luis Ortizes of the division. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who you actually probably don't want to fight. Like, you know what I mean? Victor Postal. Danny Garcia paid Victor Postal step-aside money when he was his mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. It's like those guys, Crawford keeps fighting people who are high risk, low reward. Like Luis Ortiz, what he is in his division, it's high risk, low reward, because they could definitely probably beat you if you don't have the right skill set. But they're not going to put millions and millions and millions upon millions in your bank account like a Canelo, Conor McGregor, stuff like that. You guys get what I'm saying? So Crawford's doing stuff like that. Miguel Mariaga, who would duck Miguel Mariaga off of 2 losses to Walters and Valdez? You think Tank wouldn't fight Miguel Mariaga at 130? Do you think Miguel Berchelt, who just fought Takashi Miura, Would he avoid him? And he fought Francisco Vargas. Do you think he wouldn't have fought him? You know what I mean? Who's like really avoiding Miguel Mariaga? But I could see people avoiding Victor Postal. Like I said, Danny Garcia he wasn't eager to fight him when he was the mandatory. Quentin Tarantino wasn't the cleanup man. He was the one that maybe orchestrated it. But Harvey Keitel was the one that came over. Anyway, y'all need to rewatch Pulp Fiction. Trying to correct me. So, to me, Andre Ward is pound for pound #1. It's just what it is. Lomachenko, he can be it at some point, but he has to fight the right fights. That's just what it is. And it's just crazy that, like I said, it seems like there's such a imminent rush to skip levels, if you will, and put somebody above the next man when the next man has done more. And that's just, to me, that's disrespectful. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful. It's just like, how would you guys feel at a job if you were at a job for 6 years and you felt you had been doing the equivalent job, if not better, than the next person, and then the next person got a promotion that you were due up for before you? That's what they do. You know what I mean? Lomachenko, he been a star for, let's say, 2 years. Crawford been a star 3, 4, 5 years. Ward's been a star since the Super 6, 2009, 2011. And yet this guy who's been a star for a year and a half or whatever comes in, and now all of a sudden you're saying he's better than me, Lomachenko, or Chocolatito at a point. You know what I mean? Most people in the States hadn't even seen a Chocolatito fight until his HBO debut, which wasn't even that long ago. Now all of a sudden these people are like ranked higher. How are you not on the? How do you go from not even being in the top 10 on a lot of people's pound for pound to the #1? That's how that's why people are disrespecting the pound for pound list, is because they're using it as like a ploy and a gimmick. They're using it to build fighters, and that's not what it, to me, what it should be there for. You know what I mean? You don't, like, I can understand if you were number 6 and then you had a crazy victory, and then now all of a sudden you're like, damn, that sole victory puts you above everyone else. But that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing at all. They're picking guys who haven't even really been on the pound for pound list for any length of time. Definitely not in the, like, close to the top 5, and then all of a sudden they're #1 to sell them. And you shouldn't have to do all that. Their skills will sell themselves. Do the super chat, Shmoney Dance, Ill Will, Co. Even if Mayweather gets knocked out, do you think it's fixed? Nah, I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't do a bunch of the conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's not who I am. I'm not naive. I know underworkings and different things happen in the sport. I don't think the sport is not crooked at times, but I don't really do, like, I don't know. The whole fix thing just seems like overstated. Like, how would people know if it was fixed? How would just the common man know? What would be the point of fixing something if everyone just knew about it? You know what I'm saying? That's like having a surprise party and the person who's supposed to be getting surprised already knows about it. You know what I mean? It kind of defeats the whole purpose. Then it's not a fucking surprise party. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why you would fix. It was like, okay, you're gonna just choreograph something for a knockout or something. Maybe if there was like a fix on the cards, I see that more likely than a knockout. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, so in round 3, I'm gonna put my hands down and then you just hit me as hard as you can until you knock me out. Like, that knockout fix shit sounds weird to me. You're just gonna rehearse it? Like, hey, just knock me the fuck out, hit me as hard as you can. I got a little bit of inside intel, and don't quote me on this, but from what I heard, Mayweather's kind of been training himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been working with Ricky Funes and, you know what I mean, having some people like assist him. But Floyd Sr., I don't think has been like just overall training him day in and day out. That's just what I heard. You know what I mean? Floyd Sr., he's working with Andrew Tabiti, and I think he's been working with Devin Haney, maybe some other guys. So I don't think Floyd Sr., he's training him. He's the guy that's going to be in the corner, I believe. But I don't think he's training him like past camps, I guess you could say. BOE, do the schmutty dance, $5. Thank you to the super chat. Ward is definitely number 1. Terrence Crawford gets number 2 spot. There's a little bit of argument for Terrence Crawford to get number 1. Yeah, Kenny Porter told me, he said Ward is 1A and Crawford could be 1B. So, meaning they both deserve it, which is cool. I respect that. You know what I mean? I just put Crawford at number 2 just because I think Ward's been doing it a little bit longer. So, that Undisputed was really a motivating factor because Crawford's a beast for that. But I'm still going to put Ward number 1 just because he moved up. I think light heavyweight probably has more overall competition than 140 does right now. I'm not taking away from Crawford's wins, but I'm just saying Sullivan Barrera had an 85% knockout ratio, and that was Ward's first fight at one. Sorry, I keep getting calls and it's like, fuck. No, I got a phone call. That's what messed up the stream. How do I block that? No, I got a phone call. I need to know, how do you block phone calls? Does that do not disturb block phone calls? How do you donate? There should be a $ button. You go to the YouTube on, like, you know what I mean, physically. There's a about section. Then you can go to PayPal and donate. There's multiple ways. 49ers. I've been a Niners fan since I was a kid, my dad and brother. Yeah, man. But for me, I put Ward number 1. If you put something in airplane mode, can you Wi-Fi? I don't know. I never did that. If I put it in airplane mode, I can still get on through Wi-Fi? Anybody with the iPhone, no. If you put it in airplane mode, can you still use Wi-Fi? No. See, someone said no, airplane mode, you will not be able to use Wi-Fi. See, that's what I thought. See, yes, no. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know you can use airplane mode and then get on Wi-Fi. Some of y'all are saying it cut off everything. I don't know. I'll look into it because y'all are all over the place telling me different things. Yeah, Mayweather McGregor, I gotta get ready. What time is it? Yeah, I probably gotta just go. I see the fight maybe going the distance, but I would say Floyd Mayweather in 8 to 10. I think Conor's gonna gas out. Like, you gotta look at it, man. The championship, beyond round 6, that's where it usually starts getting messy for Floyd opponents. And if it's still going on by round 6, and Conor hasn't really disrupted Floyd in a major way, then I don't really see it looking too good for him. So I really don't. I think the longer it goes, the more. Oh shit! This almost fell over. I think the longer it goes, the more it'll get away from Conor McGregor. Because your power starts to deplete, your energy starts to deplete. Floyd's gonna be doing some special stuff in there. Yeah, I think Conor is gonna have to do something very major in the first 3 rounds. And the thing is, I said it before, him doing something major is really being aggressive, but the more aggressive you are, the more you leave yourself open. And I think it's like an easy game plan to to prophesize. I think Floyd knows that a strong guy is going to try to be aggressive. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not a hard game plan to really understand. Like, what is Conor going to be like, fighting Irish and try to outbox him? I don't see that. So he's going to try to be aggressive, which I think Floyd will come to expect. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. I got to start getting ready. Holla at the kid. Boxingego. Thank you for the super chats and everybody tuning in. Holla.